Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the video you have been waiting for. Everything we have talked about, mindsets, tools, prompts, all of it comes together here. And I am going to solve a real LeetCode problem live using the exact tutor mode method from this course. No edits, no cuts. You will see the thinking, the mistakes, the corrections, and the final clean understanding. And the problem is number of island, a classic graph problem from Blind 75. If you have not tried it yet, pause this video, spend 30 minutes on it, then come back. Let's begin. Here is the problem. We have got a 2D grid, 1 represent land and 0 represent water. An island is a group of ones connected horizontally or vertically. We need to return the total number of islands. I have already read the problem. I have tried it for 30 minutes using copy and pen, and I have some ideas like I think DFS might work, but I am not sure about how the edge cases might be. Now I bring in AI. Watch how I do it. So first I have to copy paste my prompt that I have told in the previous video. I have pasted the exact seven lines that I have told you in the previous video. I paste the prompt template we built in the last video. See exactly what we expected. Claude asks question, what do you think the general approach or algorithm would be to count the island? Don't worry about code yet, just describe how you would think it in plain English. So let me try, as I have figured out that DFS might work. So I will write it. I am not sure that about the edge cases. And just hit enter. And as you can see, it tells us DFS is exactly right. And now let's make sure you truly understand why it works before worrying about edge cases. So it is asking me question, and it is trying to tell me that I have to first understand the problem statement fully. And this is where tutor mode shines. I am not getting code. I am being asked to reason, and every time I answer, Claude is either confirming or gently correcting. As you can see here, it is gently correcting. So it asks me two questions. What should you do a cell after you visit it so you don't visit it again? So let me think. If I do low, so we can mark it as -1. Can mark it as -1. And the second question is, what are your DFS base cases? When should DFS stop recursing? And that will be when we move in the left top right and the bottom direction. So we can think as we don't have to move in the out of bound condition. So we can write, we cannot move in out of bound condition. So this will be our one base case. And the second will be if we encounter zeros, as that will be water and we cannot move forward in the water. We have to move in the islands. You can see there is 1 1 1. So we write the second base case as we cannot move in water, so we ignore 0. Let's see what it says. So it says excellent, you have nailed both test cases. Marking as -1 or 0. So let's see what. Okay, so it is giving me the pseudocode since I have figured out the core intuition behind this problem, and it is telling me that don't worry about syntax, something like I have to fill the question mark and fill in the last two lines inside the loop. What do you do when you find an unvisited land cell? Take a shot at it. And this is the kind of insight I would never get from a code dump. Tutor mode made me see it. So we can write we found the new land, and that's how we mark the entire DFS and mark all matrix element. I don't know the code, so I just read the text, what I'm thinking, so that the cloud fixes me. So it tells me that it is exactly right, and when you find an unvisited one, it calls DFS, marks the entire island, increment count by 1. That's exactly what I said. And now it have given me the actual code. Explain what your choice actually means. Once clear the logic, you can write the code in yourself in the code editor or in the LeetCode IDE. Now I have full understanding of the algorithm. The code writes itself. I don't need AI to give me code. I just need to convert my understanding into C++ syntax. So I have given some basic idea. That's why it is giving me the whole solution. Otherwise, it will not give the solution that much easily. Like if you go step by step, then you will hardly find the code easily. You can try other AI tools also to solve this by using the same prompt. You can add more things for the strictness, like you can say that be strict, don't give me any code. So it's a Python code, so I just copy paste it, run this code and submit it. Let's run this code, and it is accepted. And that's how I can solve the problem. And we write do not give the code for more safety. So it is telling me the pseudo code, and it is telling me that's literally it, clean and elegant. The beautiful intuition behind it, think of it like a wildfire. And it asked me question again and again. So it is asking me what is the final time and space complexity of this approach. Here I have already write the code. Let's run it. It is accepted. Notice something important. I didn't copy anything. Claude never gave me full code. I wrote every line myself, understanding every decision. Next week, next month, even after 1 year, if someone gives me a variation of this problem, I will solve it because I didn't memorize code, I built intuition, and that's very important. In the DSA, we have to improve our intuition so that we can solve any problem. There are 3 takeaways from this video. First one is AI asked me questions, I answered them. That back and forth is where the learning happens. Second one is when I got something wrong, Claude didn't give me the answer. It guided me to see the issue myself. third is, by the time I wrote code, there was nothing to memorize. I just wrote what I already understood. In the next video, we will close out with the 3 rules that makes this method work every single time. See you there.